Hi, and welcome to Book Me a Hero, the channel where I go into unscripted rants about romance novels. My name is Sarah, and today I'm bringing you A Lady's Guide to Mischief and Mayhem by Manda. This book was first published in 2020. The Portuguese version, which is this one, came out in 2022. And I had never heard about this author before, had never read anything from her, so of course I had to read it and bring you my take on it. So, the story, as per usual, follows our hero and heroine, Kate Bascom. I hope that's how you pronounce her name. She is a widow. She's the owner of the Gazette, a very famous Londoner newspaper that she inherited from her late husband, which we later learn was a very abusive husband. She was very unhappy in her marriage, and now that she's finally a widow, unlike other widow heroines in this genre, she's learning how to be herself, how to be free, because she realizes for the first time she is not in a position to answer to parents and her husband. For the first time ever, she only has to answer to herself, and she decides to take the best advantage of it that she possibly can. Which I think was a very nice change, because most widow heroines in this genre are very secluded, very shy, don't want to bring attention to themselves, stay in their lane, lay low. You don't see a lot. You do see a lot of heroines learning how to be themselves and independent and emancipating themselves, but not so much specifically widows. I believe widows hold a very specific place within the romance novel genre, so it was a very, very nice change to see one breaking the mold and go in the absolute opposite direction. It was a really, really nice change. I also thought Kate was very smart, a very feet on the ground type of gal, very determined, very honest. I think she has a very strong moral code. She is very determined to always be the best version of herself she can, do the best work she can, be as of most help as she can to other people. And not only that, but through her character, the author also gave us a very powerful intake into feminism and women's position in society, specifically in the 19th century, but as any reader of the genre knows, most of these speeches and ideas can be translated into today, which I think is what made Kate such a powerful character, and I loved her so much. Our hero, Andrew Eversham, is a police officer on the Metropolitan Police. He's also very much a feet to the ground type of guy, very smart, also very honest, a feminist on his own right, though I don't believe he understands that. But still, we're giving them the credit. He's very determined, very good at his job, very patient, very calm. But at the same time, the grumpy, dominant guy we all learn to love and appreciate in this type of book. It was kind of a paradoxical character, I'd say. Because without saying much or taking up too much space, he still manages to be that guy who controls the entire room with a gaze, or with a smirk, or simply by being there. And I think that's the whole mood. Right? We all love that other character. The plot and the way they meet, I'd say, was pretty standard within the typical tropes we learn to love. Kate decides to interview a witness in a case Andrew is in front of, and the article she publishes in her newspaper leads to Andrew being entirely removed from his case and the wrong culprit being arrested. So before they even personally meet, Andrew is already very mad at her. Understandably, because of how determined and passionate he is about his job and his responsibilities. And when they finally meet in person at a press conference, the new lead investigator in the case is doing, after the supposed culprit's arrest, Andrew rescues Kate from the crowd, and when he learns who she is, they kind of argue. And instead of being bitter about it, Kate is very quick to admit she's wrong when she understands why she's wrong. And she decides to learn how a proper investigation works, so she never lets one of her articles interfere negatively with an investigation ever again. After this first encounter, the plot turns into a house party murder mystery, which I had never read before. I think we've all seen the Family Guy episode, but I had never read anything within the trope, so I was intrigued. The house party is being hosted by Valentine, Kate's best friend since childhood. They are very close, very platonic, and to be honest, I love their relationship. They had a very sweet dynamic. It was a very funny dynamic. It was 100% middle school best friends dynamic. I loved it. A day or two into the house party, Kate finds a murder victim, and all the murder scenario around it points to the same murder back in London, the same who has been supposedly arrested. And so Andrew is put back on the case and moves to this new location. Now, I'll say the obvious. The fact that the murders changed location with Kate pretty much lets us know that the murderer is at the house party. It's pretty much a given in the plot. But who it really is, he's very, very well hidden until the very, very last minute. Okay, because of her mistakes and what they led to, Kate asks Andrew to join his investigation, and I'm gonna put this down, sorry. I don't know why I've been waving the book around for so long.
Are you dumb, stupid, or dumb, huh?
Because of her mistakes and what they led to, Kate asks Andrew to join him in his investigation so she can learn the proper methods and not make the same mistake again and put more people in danger again by carelessly and mistakenly write an article that can provide fake clues or enough clues to arrest a fake culprit to appease the public. Andrew reluctantly concedes, but he's not too happy about it. And this is when the attraction between them starts to grow. Now, I'll say this for you, right? I understand where this was going. You realize they spend more and more time together, they're learning, they're talking, they learn to respect each other's work. And you can understand this leads their chemistry and attraction for each other to grow. But I felt like we were watching it a lot from an outsider's perspective. I think I missed a little more insight into what they were really feeling and thinking at those moments to make it a little more believable, to put us more in the relationship, to place the reader inside the relationship instead of a close watcher. But I can still understand where it comes from, and I did not dislike it. I think it was pretty sweet. We get to have the embarrassing interrupted kiss. We get to have Valentine worried about Kate and not being hurt by Andrew in almost a brotherly Anthony Bridgerton type of way. And we get a fantastic, super intriguing, incredibly intricate backstory to the murder's real motives. I'm just sad that it wasn't explored a little deeper, because there is so much and they're so interesting and it has so much potential. I think it could have gone a little deeper, again, feelings wise, but still, it was amazing. It's a murder mystery that really makes you think, you know? At least I found myself reflecting a lot about what was going on and what the motive could have been, and if this person is related to this person, then this third person also has to be. It was amazing. Now, at some point I suspected Karu, though I knew it couldn't be her because the way her interactions with Valentine specifically are written, upcoming relationship between them, which I believe the book has already come out. I'm not sure. I believe it has. So yeah, and nevertheless, to me she was a potential culprit for a while. As impossible as I knew it was. Which is kind of weird. But I don't know, it just felt right for a little bit. It just felt right for a little bit there. Now, about Kate and Andrew's chess playing.
Oh my God!
There wasn't a lot of it. This is a pretty PG romance novel. We get one chess game, which was pretty soft, pretty standard. A short scene. Would have liked a little more tension between them. But I understand the author was trying not to build a relationship around their attraction for each other or the chemistry between them, and more on the respect they have for each other and how well they work together. It's not what I'm used to in romance novels, because as someone who reads a lot of Tessa Dare, Sarah McLean, you get a lot more of spice. But I think it was a pretty nice change. And I think the respecting each other and working together and learning to respect each other's work really helped build our relationship in a different way. And it really helped seeing Andrew in a different light, because he could have been this grumpy, villainous, spiced up hero, but instead he was just this very responsible, very determined, very kind guy with a dominant presence. And I loved it. I dig that. I found a new type. And I found a new type in this book. I found a new type I didn't know I had. He is very sweet at times, like in this part where he's very worried for her and he says something along the lines of, "Sweetheart, you worried me," or "You concerned me." I don't know, this is the Portuguese version. But something like, "Sweetheart, you worried me." And it was so sweet. It was the sweetest thing. The way it fit in that little piece of narrative, it was the sweetest thing. It was... I can't explain it. You know that line that makes you want to shoot unicorns through your eyes? It was that line. It was Andrew's line. It was that bit. So, yeah. These are definitely two book heroes. I really, really enjoyed this story. I really enjoyed the mystery. And I'm really, really, really looking forward to reading the second book. Thank you for joining me today. If you like this video, don't forget to give me a thumbs up, subscribe, comment down below other books and authors you think I should read. And don't forget to check my blog and Instagram on the description box down below. See you!